Hello, it's Vicky from Free From Limits. I'm just out walking my dog, and I wanted to just answer a question that I get asked quite a lot, which is around how to support your children or loved ones when they're feeling anxious or kind of struggling in life, I guess. I'm being dragged around by my dog, so you'll have to excuse me. So the first thing that I would bring attention to is, can you change how you feel? If you're feeling anxious, or if you're feeling upset or distressed in some way, how easy is it for you to change that? And for most of us, I would say, it's really not that easy. We can distract ourselves. We can take some effort in trying to change how we feel. But actually, in reality, when you look at it, and I'd invite you to look at it, you have feelings, and then you don't have feelings. As in, you might feel sad one moment, and then the next moment you don't feel sad. And this is just something for you to kind of explore for yourself. Do feelings kind of come and go for you? Do you do the changing of them at your will? Is it easy to change feelings at will, or do you notice that you might wake up feeling sad, by lunchtime that's kind of gone and you're feeling quite content? So just check in with yourself and notice how feelings come and go for you. And I would say that there's nothing that you need to do to change feelings, that feelings kind of just arrive and then they disappear on their own. And really the only thing that maintains a feeling, if you like, is the resistance to it. So as soon as we start feeling anxious or unhappy or miserable or any other feeling that we deem as being undesirable, we kind of put a lot of attention on it, thinking we need to do something about it, we need to get rid of it, there's something wrong. And in doing that, it's like putting some sticky stuff on it, and it kind of hangs around. But of course, you'll also notice that nothing ever hangs around forever. So even then, even if you're paying lots of attention to it and trying to get rid of a sensation or a feeling, you'll notice that even then, it still doesn't stay. Like, we never are stuck with feeling anxious for our whole lives. Then we might feel like that, but if you notice, there'll be moments when you don't, and they might only be little, but there will be moments when you're not feeling anxious. And you might be picking up your dog's poo, or washing up, or cooking, or something like that, and in that moment, the feelings of anxiety are not being paid attention to, and therefore they don't get experienced. So that's the first thing that I would draw your attention to. So then, if we can't control our own feelings and our own emotions, how would we expect to do that for anybody else? How could we control the feelings and emotions of our children or our loved ones or our friends? Just taking dog off the lead. And that might sound really kind of, oh great, so there's nothing I can do to help my child or my whoever, loved one. But actually, what it points to for me is that we only ever need to come back to ourselves. Because I don't know whether you've ever been in a room with someone who's really calm, and kind of almost by default you've started to feel calm yourself. It sort of rubs off on you. I've just come back from a yoga class, and being in a room of people who are kind of peaceful and focused on movement and breath, that sense of calm kind of pervades the room. And the same as if you've ever been in a room where somebody's really angry, or been around someone who's really angry, and that has an impact on how you feel. And so whenever I'm answering this question about how do we help those we love when they're feeling anxious, I always invite people to look at themselves. Like, how are you feeling in this moment? Where is your mind going to? What thoughts are you paying attention to? Because quite often what happens when we're with somebody who's feeling anxious that we feel we need to help, what happens to our thinking is that it gets really busy and we get engaged in thoughts of how do I help this person, how do I fix them, I really want to make things different for them, and that's quite stressful thinking. Like, I don't know whether you can kind of hear the restriction in that, but it's that's not peaceful thinking, let's just say, and so we just come to check in with ourselves, like, where am I at? Where's my thinking? Where's my mind? Is my mind really racing? Is mine really busy? Am I worrying about things? And just become aware of that with no blame, no need to change it, just noticing. And then the invitation really is to notice what's going on, allow it to be there. Because, as I said, the resistance to that and the trying to make it different just makes it stick. But just coming back into the noticing sort of space of, oh yeah, my mind's really busy. Oh yeah, I'm really anxious. I'm really worried about them. Ah, okay. And then the invitation is purely to just let that thinking be there, and a bit like, the bird song that's happening now. I've only just tuned into that, but it's been there all along. So the same thing applies to what's going on in our mind and our thinking. We can pay really close attention to it. I could stop now and I could concentrate on the bird song, trying to work out what birds are singing and where they are, or they can just be background noise. And it's the same with our thoughts. So the invitation really is to just see that there's this thinking there, and just allow it to be there, along with the bird song, along with the trees that I can see, along with the dog, along with the sensation of hunger in my tummy. So that's we can all be there. And from that place, there's a settling. I don't know whether you can sense that from as I'm talking, but that has an impact on those around you. And so that's always the place that I point people back to. So supporting someone who's anxious or wanting to help someone with anxious, come back to you, start with you, look at where you are, and just notice busy thinking, notice what's going on around you, and come back to what's actually true, what's actually here, rather than what's being made up by the mind about what's going to happen if they carry on being anxious, or like how you need to do something to stop it, or whatever might be going on in the mind. Is just just let it be there, and come to what's actually here around you, and become present. And that is a total game changer. Me with my children, any time I get engaged in thinking that something's wrong and that I need to intervene, I just get quiet. I just notice the thoughts that are going on in my mind, and as best I can, not pay attention to them. So that's it for me today. If you have any questions or you would like to have a chat about this, then get in contact. Otherwise, I will see you in another video soon. Bye.